Guess we live, baby. I'm assuming we live. I'll let y'all gather on up in here, man. You know, happy Sunday. Hope all is well. Second live stream. Figured I'd chop it up with you guys real quick because I seen this come across my desk here. You know, a lot of you guys are saddened. A lot of you guys are excited by the news, and it's definitely unfortunate. And not one of those things you guys want to be going through or be dealing with. You know what I mean? But while I got you here, while you guys are tuned in here, since I made it back, I'm still here. I'm still here rocking with you guys. Hit that like button, man. Hit that subscribe button, man. We trying to get the algorithm back right now. You know what I'm saying? Because hey, whether I just got my channel back, so I hope y'all don't think I'm gonna go in on these guys or anything like that, because I even if I didn't get my channel taken away or it wasn't suspended, I still wouldn't do that because it's really no joking or laughing matter. You know what I'm saying? So I'm working on trying to get myself back in so that I'm always popping up in you guys' feed, because I guess there's some issues where I'm not really showing up for a lot of you guys, and it shows since I got my channel back, but I'm still working on it, guys. So if you guys see me or if you guys see any of my stuff, just hit the like button, man. You know what I mean? Hopefully I'll stop popping back up on y'all feeds and stuff like that, man. You know. But hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Anyway, uh let's see, man. We got somebody called in already. Just I see you. I see you. I'll bring you on here in a second, man. But I think I've been preach in reference to these guys, Amru and Walter Weeks, I believe. Amru Fuddle and Walter. Man, somebody called in and left just that fast. you know, Amru Fuddle and Walter Weeks, YouTube partnership program. For those of you who don't know, that's how we get monetized through that. For all those of us who are content creators and YouTubers who make your money through you know, AdSense, super chats. Uh, if you have a store, you can get it. You can connect your merchandise if you're doing merchandising and things like that through your store. You can sell your products. Also, YouTube now has an affiliate program similar to Amazon and other companies or whatever, where you can actually put products on your page and get a cut out of it. So that all falls under the partnership program, and once you get that removed, I guess you have to reapply again. But just getting that in the first place and making money over time, is a feat in itself for those who are able to make a penny. And a lot of you guys, a lot of people who are on YouTube, there are tons of pages out there, but there's a ton of them that never make a dime. So it's not an easy feat. So when you are able to come up with a product, with great power comes great responsibility. I know y'all heard that from Peter Parker's uncle Ben. Was it is it Ben Parker? I was about to say Ben Riley. Ben Parker, right? That's one of the things that come along with it. But when it comes to this attention, they always say it's one heck. Fame and attention is one heck. Is stronger than any narcotic, right? When it comes to this fame and attention, and you think you can say and do things and just get away with it, even when it comes down to, and there's conversations about these guys. You guys, I've never had an interaction with them. I've gave commentary on them in the past, and I explained a certain situation that I had, which was kind of funny at the end of the day. But anybody who has been in the streets, been married, been in relationships, have dated multiple women, have been successful with women, know that those guys were full of ish. And there are a lot of content creators who are. I might be. Some people might look at me as me being. I might be full of it. You know what I'm saying? But you can clearly see, if you kind of know what you're talking about and you have experience and life experience, you can kind of look at some guys and say, yeah, these guys are BS. And even when they get exposed, but they represent a certain demographic of men, not only in the US but across the world. Basically, where you can put up this picture, this image that I'm this, I'm that, and there's really no history to show that. It's just basically like, hey, this is where I'm at now. I was successful with the honeys. I can recite a few different few different other content creators and repeat things and throw out words like hypergamy, misandry, and all these other words that sound cool, you know what I mean? And you really have no experience. And when the money comes in and you start paying for buns, but trying to teach guys how to talk to women, but you're paying for buns, it just doesn't go together, man. But like I say, whenever you have a cult like status, people will follow you with whatever goes, however that goes. And I'm not knocking anybody. I mean, if that's who you want to follow, everybody follows. Not everybody, but some people just have to have somebody to look up to, and it sometimes it panders to your inner simp, right? It panders to, like, you know, I could never talk to these chicks. There's a bunch of chicks here in real life that would never give me the time of day. So I can live vicariously through watching some guys that I can relate to kick these hoes out, Matter of fact, hit that like button, man. Who's all in here from Facebook? I don't see anybody in here from Facebook, but I know I'm live here on Facebook. Quit playing. Um, some girls that I just don't like because I already assume that they would never give me the time of day. So I love to see the Frank Castle. I love to see him hold these chicks accountable by getting these women inebriated, right? Getting these women who don't have life experience either. A lot of these women just have pretty faces, and they get off by selling buns and selling sex online and other things. So you can tell life experience in the streets, but it really, in terms of interpersonal relationships, when it comes to dealing with someone or having a stable relationship, you really can't speak to that either. And besides the fact that you're wasted. um and then seeing that, because you got two gentlemen, right? And I'm not saying you have like a hip vibe to it, right? You have two gentlemen that haven't really, a lot of their guests are black men. They blew their damn, I got some hair on me. They got their platform. They blew their platform up off of the backs of American black men. Neither one of these guys are American. Their background's not American. What I mean by that is they didn't grow up in a foundational black American, for lack of a better term, household. And they didn't grow up around foundational black Americans per se. So their perspective is that of someone that's not of this country and didn't have to can't even relate. You have people who flee, as I think Tariq Nasheed said it so eloquently. You have people who flee their countries, right? And I'm talking about, because both of these guys are black. They're black men, right? But you have people who flee their countries, their failed countries, and they come to the United States and talk down on black people, talk down on black men, talk down on black women, and have these different things and see that they get a certain type of reaction. And I get it. You thinking that is cool. I'm pretty sure they have been warnings that have been given saying, hey, don't go that route. You're gonna end up losing, you end up paying for it. This thing could happen if you keep talking about certain groups. making a mockery. It's funny enough, especially if you're a black man and you're making a mockery of other black men, and you're in what they call it. What did somebody say? It's blackface. Black people in blackface and making fun of it. But you're making fun of it because you don't come from that. So it's easy to make fun of it and say, for a black man to say black people are the most racist people is funny. It's funny enough to me. For you to say black people are the most racist. I mean, you can use any other word except racist. You can try to say prejudice or bigots or something like that, but racist, man, come on. And then you got another guy who's a sidekick, he's almost non-vocal. He's just there just to be there and not say anything at all. And he's just like a silent sidekick who just gets the check just for being there and to back up what this other guy is saying. He's like a yes man. So you get into these things making fun of a certain demographic, right? Because you can say, well, I'm not this because I look at my skin color, you know. I'm from Africa or I'm from a Caribbean nation, and I don't deal with we don't dabble in the dark. Oh, my man said we don't dabble in the dark. One of you brothers is blacker than Wesley Snipes. We don't dabble in the dark. The other one, I don't know. You chose one of the most blackest names you can get, Myron, even though bros don't even like that name anymore. Myron. Kind of weird, but when you get warnings, because when you're up at that level, 1.5 million, I think that's what it was. When you're at that level, you have insight, you have attorneys, you have different people. I'm assuming it'll be smart to protect your investment to say, hey man, don't say that. You know what I'm saying? What they call it, publicists and things like that. You hire people to keep your channel up and functioning. But we want to push the envelope and say freedom of speech and things like that. But it doesn't work like that on this platform. Those of you who are content creators, you know that. Like when you anything, whether it's predominantly live streams or you're just putting up a video, you have to. Well, I know I do. I've heard some of y'all content creators don't have to do that. You have to do like a pre-checklist before you even monetize a video, with the exception of a live video. Live videos don't have that. But you have to check to say, hey, does this video contain hate speech? Does this video are you saying anything about protected communities? Is there violence? Is there any of these things, like several other categories, right? And I'm pretty sure if you violate that and you're having complaints after a while, there's going to be some issues. And, shout out to the Duke. I see he did a video where he talked about basically, because we are 1099 employees, content creators here on YouTube. You're an independent contractor, you're a 1099 employee, but obviously what they say, what I do on my own time shouldn't be none of your business. It doesn't work like that a lot of times, guys. And there's fine print always that sometimes you look over. And I think the Duke mentioned this in his video where he said, he gave a couple other instances of other content creators getting removed or terminated, or in terms of their the YouTube partner, the YPP, YouTube Partnership Program, being revoked and them no longer being monetized based off of things that they didn't do on the platform. Strangely enough. And who knows at the end of the day what was the last straw? I mean, sometimes it's not explained, and it's a at will agreement that you got here. You know what I mean? Sometimes you may not get an explanation. It's just one of those things you have to deal with. Now, I don't feel any type of way. I'm not celebrating it at all because I never watched them to begin with. They didn't do anything to me. All I've always said, and I stand on that, is that they're corny, and that's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? It's not my cup of tea in terms of that. It doesn't apply to me. Just like some people watch other content creators because they may learn something from it. There's nothing that somebody can teach me. I'm 40 years old. You know, I've done things. I have life experience. I've lived several different lives in 40 years. You know, it's just I just didn't pop up on YouTube one day, and that's been my life story. No, far from it. I've I've done several different things in my lifetime. You know what I mean? I just wasn't some dude that just popped up and say, "Hey, this is how you get these hoes." You know, these chicks are bimbos, which I never heard a brother in my life say bimbo. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe what's my man's name? Sir Mix-a-Lot said that and Baby Got Back. That's the only time I heard a brother say bimbo. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it is what it is. But no, I don't I didn't just pop up and just say, "Hey, I'm the master at this. This is how you do it. These chicks, blah blah blah, so on and so forth." And it happens like that, man. It happens like that. Everybody's got their own people that they follow. As far as them getting losing their money, I'm pretty sure they still have a strong following. They have a strong enough following, maybe the legality, they got money for lawyers or whatever have you, maybe clean up their act and reapply. Because I'm assuming there's that option to reapply once they take it. Like one of my channels, for example, and this happens to a lot of people's channels, right? If you have a channel that was monetized and you don't post to it anymore, and I'm not saying this is the exact same thing, but you will lose your monetization on that channel if you stop posting. I think it's 6 months. If you don't post anything in 6 months on that channel, you will lose your monetization. You will no longer be a part of the YPP YouTube partnership program, whatever you want to call it, if you don't post. You feel me? And that's just one of those things. But you can reapply. Now, how it goes in terms of them restricting it altogether, I guess that's up to YouTube's discretion on how they run things. And man, like I said, with me, I was stressing out for 6 days when I lost my channel. You know what I'm saying? It's not fun at all. You know what I mean? Especially when you do this, when this is when this is what you do, this is your livelihood, this is what you do for a living, and you build something up and it's taken. But when you try to push the envelope, whatever you want to say, and you know that there's some, you're violating certain policies, you know what I'm saying, in terms of potential hate speech and stuff, I mean, you're asking for it. And then I just watched the clip that the Duke shared, but when you get onto it, because Buddy seems to have emotional issues when he doesn't get his way, and he's a good actor, and he shedding tears and walking off the camera and stuff like that. I don't feel any type of way, man. I'm not this video is not to celebrate the demise of Fresh and Fit, because corniness is needed in this world. That's just my opinion that they're corny though. But corniness is needed in this world. There's an audience. They didn't just get 1.5 million out of nowhere. You know, there's loyal fans that show up. There's women that show up. There's women that have there's content creators that have blown up off of being on their platform, and they have been content creators that came on their platform that made them blow up. So I'm pretty sure, the OnlyFans, the girls that's popping up, there's, to my understanding, they're still gonna be doing the show, even though they're not getting paid for it. They're just gonna be getting donations and things like that. I'm just reading one of these comments. What happened exactly? You might have to rewind the video, but I'll sum it up. They violated the YouTube's policies. That's to sum it up. You know what I'm saying? So that's what happened. You know what I mean? But corniness is needed in this world. Guys, I think the thing in this space is guys depend on guys are looking for a safe space. Some guys are looking for a space where guys bash women um on their platform and things like that, and you can't have uh a sober discourse, if you will. And it's just running in circles, man. It's just running in circles. But no love lost. I really don't care either way. You know what I mean? You can disagree with someone. I just don't watch that. My thing is I just don't watch folks. And people say you should watch people you don't disagree with or like, but I don't agree with that. If I don't like your content, I'm not gonna watch your content. If I disagree with your content, I'm not gonna watch it. That's just me. What am I'm gonna pick up pointers? You should watch content you don't disagree with so you can know how to argue. I've heard people say that. That's why I'm saying that. Why would I watch something that I'm not into and I don't agree with? You know what I'm saying? There's no need for me to tune in. If there's a discussion or a debate, yeah, I get it. But why do I need to be tuned into something that I really don't care about? Oh shit. I'm only talking about this because it's a hot topic, man. I'm just trying to get the algorithm on my side right now, guys. You know what I'm saying? That's the only reason why I'm talking about this right now. It's a hot topic. I don't give a flying F about these dudes, what they got going on. I don't tune into a show, never tuned into a show, and never will. You know what I mean? Guys, no matter what I want to say to the youngins and the old guys, right? Listening to other people, and even this is with Kevin, rest in peace. And Kevin said this before he passed. You want other men to be a blunt instrument, to execute your internal trauma, you know, onto this woman or whatever, for whatever reason, that she has to be held accountable, right? This woman has to be held accountable. She has to be Frank Castled. She has to be told she isn't. This isn't my sister. This woman didn't ask me for advice. This isn't my girlfriend, my wife. None of that. You know, but I have to hold her accountable. Mm, 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 mm. Man, listen. If you need a man to do that for you as a man, so that you can feel better, or you need to tune into the bloodbath or the feces show, the ish show, because I guess it's entertaining, man. But I got better things to do than to spend 2-3 hours looking at, you know, some shit, some excuse me, some stuff like that. I know I'm on Facebook. I'm trying to keep it clean. I'm trying to keep it clean. I'm on Facebook, man. Also, but spend 2-3 hours, you know, watching some stuff and just be like, yeah, 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 yeah. Like this is the Coliseum, and these are, it's got gladiators, and you're just like I'm about to quote some stuff like Socrates or something crazy on here. You're gonna get some women drunk, and then you're gonna stay sober and get some drunk women to debate with you on repetitive talking points. And then you're gonna get emotional with a drunk. YouTube algorithm, talk to me nice, man. I don't think y'all heard me. I don't know how many of y'all argue with drunks or people that are high that aren't in their right mind. My intelligence begins where theirs peaks at, you know. So I don't get into all that. So for you to argue with a drunk, there's something wrong with you, and unless it's just for show. How long have I been on here? Because I don't want to be talking on here too long. You know what I'm saying? But if you argue with a drunk, you're a fool, right? If you argue with a woman, you're a fool. And I'll give you some slack if you want to argue with a man, but as a man, you shouldn't argue at all. Just my thoughts, right? Unless you're an attorney or something like that, right? So we don't blackmail women for buns, which is something that Buddy does. We don't we don't offer to do collaborations and then tell a woman, well, I'm not going to collaborate with you. You ask her to collaborate with you, then when she says cool, then you say, I'm not going to collaborate you. White woman, by the way, also, right? Then when she doesn't want to collaborate with you, oh, excuse me. Then when she doesn't want to sleep with you for that collaboration, you say you don't want to collaborate with her again. And then you equate that to shooting your shot, right? That in no way, shape, or form, nobody except an idiot would agree that that's considered shooting your shot. By stepping to a woman with for business first, then once she responds to you with business, then you try to change it to personal. And when she doesn't agree to that, then you don't want to talk to her. And you call that, guys, this is how you shoot your shot. You don't build your platform off of black men, right? Then you go around and talk about black men. You have several, big YouTubers, black YouTubers, successful black YouTubers by having them on, and then you turn around and you talk about black folks, how they're the most racist, and how they make excuses. You know what I mean? For things. You don't do that, right? You don't put a white hood on your head and then pretend with all the history of this country, and you claim to be an intellect, I'm assuming. With the history of this country, and you try to do some satire like Dave Chappelle, I guess. And you're letting your inner thoughts out. These are conversations, right? These are conversations that are being had because there are several, and I know the term tether, which I don't want to use the term tether, but that's the term that's used for black folks who immigrate, who migrate, immigrate, whatever you want to call it, who move to this country that aren't originally from this country, that are from other countries. They come to this country and they have things to say about the black people in this country who made it possible for them to come to this country, who made it possible for a Fresh and Fit podcast, who made it possible for Amru Fuddle and Walter Weeks to get, for their parents, however it went down, for you to get a visa to come over here. It's the craziest. Oh, they're lazy. These black folks are lazy. Blah, 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 blah. They're this, they're that. They're ghetto. But where's your country? How's your country doing these days? And I'm not trying. I'm just speaking to all my people out there, right? All the people out there that's coming from, all the black people that's coming from all these other countries where obviously you came to America, the greatest country on earth, right? For a reason, right? Then you talk down on the people that contributed heavily to building the country, right? Because in your country you couldn't get it together. That's why you came here, right? So I find that disturbing. And for black, if you're black and you're still following that channel and you're watching that, I find that to be equally disturbing. Unless you're a tether yourself from a different country. And I'm not saying that to be derogatory. I'm just saying, because at the end of the day, if you got your citizenship here, you're American, right? Even though a lot of our people, throw up their flags in this country, which I get it. You're repping your flag. You're representing where you're from. But I don't get it. I don't get it. That's the strangest thing. But for you to entertain that at that point where someone is saying this is a person who says I was able to do this, I was able to do that, you know, you are an anomaly, right? You are an anomaly in this country as well for you to be able to pull that off, you know. So a lot of times we must be happy, you know. I was reading some of these comments here. You should be happy to achieve success, right? You know, and I'm not saying they weren't happy or whatever, but just keep your cookie cutter formula going, guys. And I'm just speaking to everybody else who's out here. You want to be edgy, you want to push the envelope and things like that. You know, there's warning before destruction, and I'm pretty sure that was the case. You know what I mean? Other cases, there's not, but there's usually a warning before there's destruction in terms of things like that. But once, if you got a system in place, keep it up. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people struggle to be creative and do things, and they end up, hence, i.e., you know, a woman that doesn't get many likes on social media. She knows a quick way to get likes is to take off her clothes. Sometimes you got to be edgy, but I mean, I guess it could be sustainable, you know, but there's other things that come along with that. May lose out on a good man, may lose out on a husband, you know. There's a saying that I've been saying for years. A freak for attention has no moral compass. And that goes for man or woman, right? A freak for attention has no moral compass. They will do whatever, right? They'll do whatever. And exerting the inner, you know, the inner I don't even want to call it hatred, you know, it's just it could be jealousy or whatever, you know. Because a lot of these places you can't go back. You couldn't go back to your country and say these things. That's what makes America great, you know. But yeah, tether, yeah, it definitely starts at home. I mean, there's definitely a conversation that's had, and you know, you're told to stay away from these people. They're dangerous, they're thieves, they're robbers, or whatever. But the culture is what got you where you're at. You know, the culture, if that's what it is, you thrive off the culture, right? You thrive off the effery, the debauchery, however you want to say it. You thrive off of that. That's what's getting you your coin. Theatricality and deception. Powerful agents to the uninitiated. But we are initiated, aren't we? Yeah. That's all it is theatricality and deception. But yeah. Should black folks improve or not? What does that mean? What does that mean? Should black folks improve or not? If you want to expound on that. No, nobody should improve. Nobody should do better. Everybody should stay stagnant. Shout out to Enos. Rather them than you, bro. I never had anything against those guys, but their methods was always questionable. You kept it solid since day one. Salute. Appreciate you. Thank you. Let me bring on the big boss. I ain't seen him in a while. Let me see what he got to say. I know he got something to say about some tethers. You know what I'm saying? But I think ain't you Dominican? Shit. No, Jamaican. You Jamaican.
Yeah, my dad's from Jamaica and my mom's FBA.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, what's up with you, big boss? Talk to me, player.
Hey man, I'm just recovering. Been doing my traveling and came back from Birmingham. It was a very interesting experience. Especially going out to the area of the church bombing,
Right.
all those young girls and other people injured. So, I've been got back from going to Atlanta this weekend. So I got some stuff lined up, and also got some ladies that I'm trying to link up with.
Right.
Yeah,
That's good for you. What's your thoughts on all this though, Calvin?
I have. I'm like you in some ways, and I agree with you what you're saying. Sometimes I don't agree, and it's not because I don't like what you're saying. It's just because certain things just don't apply, or you just don't
Right.
see it that way. But I understand your position as far as stale and unfit. To me, they don't seem fresh and they're unfit. And I on TikTok, I be getting attacks about my weight issues or now my mental health. So, and to me, a lot of these people are broken.
Okay.
And I'm not saying you and I ain't broken, but
Right.
you got to go through a healing process. And this year has been the biggest challenging of healing from personal traumas, abuse, child abuse, violence, a lot of negative experiences.
Right.
Even my legal issues in the past.
Right.
So go and confronting your parents and family, and sometimes they don't want to hear what you got to say, and you just got to kick rocks. I told my mother this. She don't want to hear what you got to say. My grandma don't want to. She don't. She had issues with her mother. Right. So there's a generational, and this ties into what you're talking about. It's generational.
Absolutely.
But nobody wants to deal with the personal healing. And if you don't heal, you can't do any, you really can't, you can be a functional adult, but how can you elevate? How can you have better when you're unstable and you're broken internally?
Right.
Yeah. And when you were saying, I didn't get a chance to catch the other part because I had some stuff to do. I was trying to find out what you got going on. But the thing is that, like you say, you got guys on here who are hurt, they're broken, dealt with some, no unfairness, but under the democracy, legal issues. But, so, you got the whole passport, they say we're going to get our passports. I'm working on mine. I got some stuff I got to take care of. But
you ain't got no
the thing about it,
I know you ain't got no kids, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The thing about, and even when people say that, I don't have to have kids because when I'm when you're the oldest child, you're a daddy. You're considered a daddy in some instances and an uncle, and you're not really ready for that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Anybody who's the oldest of that generation, can attest to this. What I see with some of these guys, they get off to that. That's why, even though I get lumped in the same group, oh, you talking about these hoes. No. What I'm talking about is policy and the politics. I know that's not sexy. I talk about the politics. I talk about social engineering, the indoctrination, conditioning, and a lot of other issues. But, on TikTok, you really can't say that much because, I get flagged, man.
Right.
But, just like the women, they got their own issues. Shout out to, I ain't trying to like name drop, but hey, I was watching The Green Growth. So, I support what he got going on. And, there's a lot of unhealedness and a lot of it stems from parenting, but also stems from the society and the policy. A lot of this stuff under the bureaucracy stems from policy. So I have tried to explain this many times, but I get a lot of dudes coming from me. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm an advocate for men, especially black men. So how am I getting torn to shreds for the same brothers I'm trying to help? That's weird to me. And the thing is, I got women agreeing with me. In some cases, there's women who agree with me in ways, even though we call them misogynist. You can't get no buns. Even though they saw some pictures that disputes that you can't get it up. You're small down there. I'm like, what is like? Why would you want to? Why are you even going there with me on that? That's what I don't understand about people. Why are you even going there? And how do you know what I got going on? You're gonna know what I tell you. You're Kanye West. I mean, that's really just and the whole thing. We talk about mental health, but here because you don't like what I'm saying. But I always say, am I lying? You don't like what I'm saying? So why would you take a jab at somebody who got mental health issues or
Right.
weight issues when I know in your family that's what's going on? You got
For
that
sure.
too. Even if it's not you, you know you got that. So why would you do that? These would be the same people, JR, and everybody else, the same people. You say something about their family, or some people are the girlfriend or boyfriend, they're ready to come for you.
Right.
It's just the hypocrisy. It's just unreal.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody want to be
For sure.
perfect. Let me say this, and I mean, when I was on my back in my YouTube heyday, as Big Boss Calvin, I talked about, I've been in many spaces, Black Men Vent, Truth for Holiness, MGTOW, and all the red pill, the original the real red pill, not this nonsense. And I remember even back then, 2009, all the way through 10 to 20,
Right.
I actually got offers, news stations. But here's the thing. You know how they offer you deals, right?
Right.
And I'm like, shoot, if I was actually, sometimes I wish I would have took that offer, but I stand on principle. I'm not going to be sell out or be a caricature in a minstrel show. And this is the problem in most people, but particularly in the Black community. The minute you see some cheese or some blondie women or some blondie dudes, all of a sudden you want to just hop and leave instead of stay to their foundation. And that's why I see what happened. I don't think they came to YouTube to help people. I think maybe they did, but when they started getting some, and they started to cater to the audience of this Nick Clown, Nick Fuentes, and
right.
Then you had the Beanbos.
Right.
All of a sudden, I said, okay, they're in trouble. They're in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then they started just being a minstrel and started just attacking the same people. And that's so funny because the way I watch Fresh and Fit, unstale and unstale and unfit. I remember how the audience. I watched a little bit here and there, but when they started taking jabs at the FBA, certain Black folks who got them there, I said, okay, first of all, you're foreigners, but to me, I understand the foreign Black perspective.
Mm-hmm.
So now you want a raccoon, and you want to cater to the right wing. Now I'm not with the left wing. I don't deal with either. You know what I'm saying? So okay, you do that. You want to forget who you are, where you come from. But here's the thing. This is what happens. This is your instant karma. I realize that this is the biggest problem, generational, and nobody wants to be real. A lot of people, you can have good intentions to come on here or be an activist, but a lot of times you give a money person status, money, women or dudes, you know what I'm saying? If particularly to the women, we talk about heterosexual relationships.
Right.
You give them those materialisms and the vanity, even the opportunity to have access to that vanity, it reveals who they are. Or in some positions of authority, so-called authority, and a lot of times they're babies to authority. Mm-hmm. They think it's about being a slave master and barking orders. No, it's about taking care of your people, leading, putting your life online, caring, nurturing, teaching. But see, we in the Western society, that's not what it's about. So we're babies when it comes to knowledge. You got people who are in their 50s, who are babies when it comes to what we're talking about. Babies when it comes to leadership. Mm-hmm. I mean, even if you didn't have examples, but at some point, you should have a moral compass and stand by the foundations of what got you here. And this is what I see. It's nothing new. We can go there in so many different ways. Same with that Derek clown. I got some roasting to do with him. But it seems like the minute he, started making some changes, all of a sudden you see how he exposed something about him. And this is what I see with everybody. This is why I can't take social media seriously. I consider you a real one.
Thank you.
This is why I can't take people seriously, because a lot of these people say one thing and say many things, but they don't live that life. Mm. You got so many people just with the level of heifers, I call them, say this and that, but you meet a YouTuber who got multiple children. I'm not going to mention no names. And then you get knocked up by them, but you want to talk about how, melanated men ain't sugar on the ass tea. A lot of times it's you. A lot of
Mm,
times you got to confront your issues and your childhood issues, your traumas, and your family. And it goes back generationally, like I said. You got to really look in the mirror. This is why people need to heal before they jump the gun. But see, it's a painful process, man. So, like you always said, I said too, it's like a lot of times in life, a lot of times it's a never ending school.
mm.
Life is school.
He who hates knowledge loves death.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly. And here's
indeed.
the thing, because I got to get going soon.
Yeah, yeah.
I know it's one thing because I should have more views, man. Than I should have more of this, man, because I'm an OG at this. But I
Right.
noticed something, even though I'm getting put in boxes by different types of people, but it's so funny because, and I said this: if I was a woman basher, man, I should be getting super chats. I should have 100,000 stuff. Now, if I was pandering to the women, man, I have 1 million subscribers. I'll be going on vacation. I'll be, what I'm saying, I'll be like making it rain.
Right.
So if I'm so, because my following should not be this small.
Mm-hmm.
It should not be see when you see the problem is, and this is what this is. I'm going to say this before I go, is that because I think this I live what I talk about. I'm one of the few that lives what they talking about. I live what I talk about. So I'm not putting it on the front. And a lot of times when you're dealing with real authentic people who don't use talking points, sometimes I use it, but you don't use talking points, or you don't use theatrics, and you just real, and you just being intelligent and honest, and you could be very respectful. People get bored, man.
Right.
Man. But as far as stale and unfit, I mean, it is what it is. But I'm glad they got that wake up call. Hopefully they'll wake up. I doubt it, but that wake sometimes you need another one
Right.
before you actually realize, man. And guys, stop being to those guys. Stop being a minstrel, because my thing is the people who got you there. You don't turn on them. You don't turn on the people, like you said. What got you there, you stick with it and enhance it.
Right.
You don't just blow it up because you got a little something something, and that's the problem right there. But
Right.
I'm out, Jr.
For sure,
I'm
man.
out, guys.
Yeah, have a good weekend, man.
Take care.
Appreciate it. Hey, later. Shout out to the big boss, coming through, spitting a little something right there. But indeed, man, it's not a sad day, it's not a good day, it's just a Sunday. Just my thoughts. Once again, like I said, I'm not celebrating anything, I know how painful it is, but hey man, that's what comes along with it. Go ahead and read this super chat by BL90. Okay, see what you're talking about here. Calvin sounds really delusional. If I did this, I'd have that. If this happened, my life would be this way. Take the if qualifier off his statements, and this dude has nothing but yapping gums. Man, the prophet said something along those lines. Never say the word low, which is if, right? Never say the word low, which is if, because it opens up the doors to Satan, or opens up the doors to the shayateen, right? So, and I'm just piggybacking off what you're saying, since I appreciate the 999 super chat BL90. Since it's Sunday, I figured I might as well preach, give you a little sermon based off of that real quick. You know what I'm saying? Are you not entertained? Um, yeah, based off of that, man. If you say, we could say, if my channel didn't get suspended, maybe the algorithm wouldn't be jacked up for me right now. You know what I'm saying? Maybe if this happened, maybe if that happened, maybe if that, whatever's supposed to happen is supposed to happen, man. You know what I'm saying? We could use any set of ifs. If those boys' channels didn't get demonetized, what would have happened? Could they have gone even further and done something that basically harmed someone? Could something have been done to them if they kept up doing, because you know, pushing when you trying to push that line, man. You know what I'm saying? When you trying to push that line, some things can happen. You know what I mean? So Myron Gaines equals Amru Fuddle. Real name was Agent for Homeland. Fake name, which did not admit until later. I mean, you could look at him and tell his name wasn't Myron Gaines. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that. I mean, he's obviously East African, so his name wasn't Myron Gaines. That's a no brainer. You know what I'm saying? You can look at him and just say like, that's looking at China Mac and say his name was Chubby Checker or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Let's looking at Jet Li and saying his name was uh Tyrone Givens. I mean, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? That's looking at Lucy Liu and saying her name was Lakeisha Cox. I mean, it's some things are just evident, man. If I had a chance to choose my name, I wouldn't have chosen that name. You know what I mean? I mean, that's why I don't think any brother would have, unless his mother named him that, no brother would have really chosen the name Myron. Just my thoughts. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. If there's some brothers, there's 112 people in the chat. If you would have chose the name Myron, let me know. You know what I'm saying? If I had a choice, I definitely wouldn't have chose that. You know what I'm saying? You would try to, choose something cool like Myron. That gives me like one of those names you hear on like one of the old like the black sitcoms from the 90s or something like that, like the 80s or the 90s or like that. What was that dude from the Players Club that was like he was stalking Diamond on the Players Club? Wasn't his name like Myron or Byron or something like that? Every guy who's like it's like a 90s sitcom name, you know what I'm saying? Or like a guy that worked at McDowell's from Coming to America or something like that. You know what I'm saying? That's what I get from that, man. Yeah, some old head names, from back in the day. You know what I'm saying? I don't think nobody would just consciously go out and name, somebody from the States, would actually go out and name themselves Myron. You know what I'm saying? So just my thoughts though. But man, I've been on here for almost an hour, man. I need to start doing live streams more often, but I guess I just need to cover hot topics, man. But listen, since I don't think we got any more callers. We got some 2-starred up in here. Yeah, appreciate the super chats. How many likes we got up in here before I get up out of here? 115 likes. You need to get about, man, hit that like button. If you don't, man, it is what it is. Hey, before I get out of here though, are you guys that are subscribed to me, are you guys seeing my videos? Because this is very important. That's why I'm asking this. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know I only had my channel back for like a week now. Literally a week I've had my channel back. Have you guys been getting my videos in your feed? I took a poll on it as well, and it seems like my videos aren't really in your feeds anymore, and you guys aren't getting notifications. So I think I'm my the algorithm when it comes to mine is struggling. The impressions aren't there. So if you see a video, man, or whatever, man, just click on it. Don't even just let it play for 30 seconds, then go on about your business, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just, if you're not, I'm not asking for any money, just click on the video. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to get the algorithm back right. Show me you love me. Let me know you love me. All right, we got another one. BL90, man. You must have got paid from Friday, man. What's happening? Also on Fresh and Fit, I generally don't like their philosophy, but I have to agree with them on black women. I ate that ish up, LOL. I also loved how that had Tommy on. Yeah, Tommy is something else, man. Not always. Adriana Gomez, live from Portugal and the UK. Congrats on 100K. Thank you for. I recognize the grind and appreciate the work. Thank you. No notifications. No notifications. All right, I'm in the feed. Appreciate it. Not always. So y'all not getting notifications. I'm hearing a lot of people say that. UK now. I'm just saying when I say live from that, I know where, I'm just shouting you out. I know you're from Portugal. Relax. You know what I'm saying? I know you're from Portugal and the fam is from the islands for sure. And the feed, okay, that's what's up. Tearing down black women is a sport. Hmm. Man, I know people tune in and all that stuff like that. People want to see a bloodbath. They don't want to see, you know, those self-help topics is cool, man, but just men and women uh want to see a bloodbath, you know. They want to argue the point. Women, they when you talk about it, women want to argue it. So I guess it's one of those things that's a niche on YouTube, right? That's a niche on YouTube. So that's why a lot of people are capitalizing off it. You know what I mean? They're capitalizing off it. You can say, well, JR, are you doing it too? Man, I just be talking ish, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's supplied that you can say, well, I'm a perpetuator of it because I cover it, I talk about it, but what they say, you don't want them to do it, stop watching it. You know what I'm saying? They'll go to something else. My feed is self-help and ratchet reviews. Shout out to the ratchet reviews. The self-help. Let me, man. These live streams be turning into something else. I'll be talking about something other than the topic at hand since I done got off of Amru and I don't think I said anything bad about them. When I do these, when I give my thoughts, I try not to say like, attack like, oh, these dudes are ugly, they're dusty, these dudes, blah blah blah, these dudes, such and such, I try not to do like those. I just the character, if I must attack the character, or give my thoughts on the character of certain individuals when it comes to that. Not hating on success, man, at all. Everybody has it's timing with some people. Sometimes it's never timing. Sometimes you just don't get where you're supposed to be at, man, or where you want to be at, not where you're supposed to be at. But uh I think they're going to be successful regardless. What I mean by that is, even without being monetized, guys are still going to tune in. So you can't just stop. I don't think any creator would just stop. I'm not getting paid, so I'm not putting up any more content anymore. You know what I'm saying? My channel was done, so that's why I couldn't put. I had my backup channel. You know what I'm saying? Where I was putting up content, which you guys can go ahead and subscribe to that one as well. But I couldn't put up content, but it's something where they just take your monetization. You're just like, after you have a schedule or a routine where you're putting out content for someone, then all of a sudden they take your money. That'll really show some character flaws within you to see what type of time you're on. Because especially if you're making so much money, your people are going to support you anyway. You know, people are going to support you anyway, especially if you got that many people tuned into you. You'll always be successful doing wrong. Ask a lot of these guys in prison, you know, how successful they are. I feel you on that though. There's a time, everything has timing. You can't do wrong forever. There's a there's an expiration date on the effery. All that stuff, whether you hustling, you scamming, all that stuff has an expiration date. If you want to call that success, same thing. I was having a conversation. You got people who steal for a living. You got people who cheat people for a living. That stuff doesn't last forever, and those people never really get anywhere in life. Just being honest. If you have to steal from people or you have to get over on people, you never really make it. You know, you can say, well, JR, what about these politicians? What about this? What about that? That's a system, but there is some recompense somewhere down the line. These politicians, yeah, people do stuff, but it will be repaid in some way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? Yeah, these guys try to, when you start bringing these guys on there for the shock and awe factor, I get having a dialogue with someone, right? You when you speaking on the Nick Fuentes thing, right? Or the people who bring on the Nick Fuentes, or like when people used to bring Farrakhan on, people don't agree with Farrakhan, right? You have a debate, or you get to, and I didn't watch any of those interviews, but when you have someone blatantly come on the show and then you are saying the N word, and other people of color are there allowing this, just like it was called out, a lot of them, I'm not saying tell it to be derogatory, but it just doesn't hit the same. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't hit the same uh in terms of you using that word, because it really doesn't mean much to you, you know. Um so allowing him and then laughing about it, then saying it, telling him to say it, say it, say it, say it, say it, say it. That's distasteful. I don't think anybody should find that funny. Um I'm a lawyer. Damn. Oh yeah. Oh, go ahead, lawyer. Keep dropping that lawyer money up in here. Then you know I'm a lawyer, so I do well for myself. But I should send you a story about how I got played by a black woman in D.C. They'll promise love and support just for a gift and some dinner. Ooh, I was about to. Man, I heard. I have a friend of mine. Uh, who knows some lawyers out in Baltimore. Y'all, it's y'all attorneys, man. I appreciate you dropping a few coins on a player, though. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, send me that story. I love to talk. I love to talk about it. YouTube is watching what you do offline. Absolutely. You're an independent contractor. They still have there's still policies in place, man. There's still policies in place even when you're an independent contractor, because you're still representing the company. You know what I mean? And their reputation, your reputation, it affects their reputation, and what you stand for. So you could have gotten played for more. Man, men, it's a lot of dudes who spend money on food and all this other stuff. And whether you get played, it's just learning, man. It's a learning experience. You know what I'm saying? It's just a learning experience. You They promise love and support just for a gift and some dinner. Man, you gotta one thing, fellas, a woman can tell you anything. That's when you say you gotta show me, baby. You know what I'm saying? A dinner, a dinner has gotta be something special. You know what I'm saying? It's gotta be something special. I don't know where you took her to dinner at. If you went to Mastro's or one of those nice seafood restaurants up there, Brazilian steakhouse, Fogo de Chao up there, man. But bro, you can't be taking women out to dinner just because, man. You know what I'm saying? There's always a Tyrone in the cut smutting. Please believe it. Talk to me nice. It was Michelin star. Let me look that up, man. I'm country. I was about to say, is that a tire place? Michelin star. Y'all like, this dude don't know what a Michelin star is? Because y'all know I live in Charleston. It says, does Charleston have a Michelin star restaurant? So that's a type of restaurant. Fantastic starters. Okay. What is a Michelin star restaurant? He on some fly ish. She's an attorney. You know what I'm saying? I thought that I was I was on some player stuff. I'm gonna have to look this up, man. What is a Michelin star restaurant?
According to Michelin Guide, the Michelin Group, 1 Michelin star is awarded to restaurants using top quality ingredients, where dishes with distinct flavors are prepared to a consistently high standard. 2 Michelin stars are awarded when the personality and talent of the chef are evident in their expertly crafted dishes. Their food is refined and inspired.
I know the lefty chef gonna get me on this one because I didn't know what that is. Oh man, sheesh. Okay, I'm all messed up. I never. I mean, can I just call it a 5-star restaurant? I mean, is that what it's called? Just because it's got a star to it? If it's, I don't know. It's the little tiny plates, the little small plates that never get you full. It's just to make it look like you got money. Give me some of that beef tartare or that duck confit. Yeah, keep it player. I'd rather not. Um, just give me a plate of food. I ain't trying to impress you. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to a nice steakhouse. You know. GR, they can be Michelin stars. Top. I don't know. Anyway, man, I gotta get up out of here, man. Y'all know. But yeah, hit that. Hey guys, listen. If you're watching this, make sure y'all click that bell. Because I don't know if some of you, click that bell. Hit that subscribe button, click that bell if you're not getting those notifications, and just click on the last video I posted. I got to get the algorithm back up. A player's got 105,000. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to get back in the game. I'm trying to get back out there. I'm trying to do numbers. You know what I'm saying? I do this because I like it. I do this because I like to help you. I do this to entertain, but I also do this to get my coins. So let's not mistake it. You know what I'm saying? So help a player out. I'm not asking for no money, but I appreciate those who donated a super chat tonight. How much I got? I got about $40 tonight, huh? That's 30. So I got about $34. It's pretty good. You know what I'm saying? That's enough for a steak dinner. Or just a steak, excuse me. That's what I mean by that is I make my own steak. I can buy my own ribeye, you know, buy a nice 20-ounce ribeye and cook it myself. And the rest of the plate is just air. So yeah, shout out to the attorney for that $30. And shout out to one of my mods, Enos, live from the 305. You know what I mean? And yeah, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. I'm trying to get back into good graces. I'm your favorite everything. I'm your favorite YouTuber. If y'all didn't know, now you know. And we got some content. Hey, guys, if you've been done wrong by a woman, email me. I would like to have you on the show. That way I can hear you complain about it and everybody else can learn something from your story. Ladies, if you've been done wrong by a pookie or a player, feel free to email me, DM me. We would love to hear your story. That way we can learn something from it. How to treat a soulful queen such as yourself. And that's what we're gonna do, man. We're just trying to figure things out. I appreciate you guys once again. Y'all see the beautiful silver play button I got there. I lost it within a week of, excuse me, I lost my channel within a week of getting it, strangely enough, but I got it back. Shout out to everybody that helped out. Shout out to everybody that tunes in. Make sure you guys spam all my videos. If you guys didn't know, if you guys thought that I was missing, I've dropped about 8 or 9, maybe 10 videos since my channel's back up. So go spam those now, including one tonight. I dropped 2 today. So, that's my little quick promotion. Yeah. You said, huh? Yeah, I lost my channel. Evidently, you wasn't watching me, so you didn't know that. Yeah, I lost my channel and got it back. My channel was down for a week. So yeah, if you guys haven't been seeing videos for a week, my channel was down for a week. But I got it back last Saturday. Today's Sunday though, right? Yeah. So it's only been up. It's been up for about a week now. So we still trying to get it back. Still trying to get things going. Still trying to get the algorithm to f with me. Still trying to get some impressions going. So share the video. Share it to your grandma. Share it to your uncle. Share it to your brother in jail. You know what I'm saying? It'll help. But matter of fact, man, I gotta cook up one of my. Well, I cooked both of the filet mignons yesterday. It was a 4 ounce. So I gotta cook up a steak tonight, man. Anyway, you guys have been awesome. I appreciate you guys for rocking with me. Hopefully, I didn't talk too long. It's been over an hour. You know, we was only supposed to be talking about Ruffuttle and Walter Weeks, but it branched off into something else. Like I said, I'm not here to bash. Much success to those players. You know, who paved the way for more debauchery. And yeah, man, if you like my content, man, hit that subscribe button, man. If you got some stories, you know, I'm thinking about bringing the dating show back, but I need some contestants, you know what I'm saying? So hit me up, man. I'm out of here, guys. Sheesh, it's almost 8 o'clock. You guys have a good night. Peace, blessings, and abundance, man. I'm out.